Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a puzzle, a really big one. It's at the heart of everything from network design and logistics to the tiny chips inside your phone. And the puzzle is this: how do you connect everything together for the absolute lowest cost possible?
Yeah, that's really the core question, isn't it? I mean, think about it. If you're laying down internet cables, or planning out a massive power grid, or even designing a complex computer chip, you're always up against this same exact problem. How do you link up every single point without wasting a single dime?
So, take a look at this. Imagine these are cities, or houses, or servers. Whatever they are, they all need to be connected. Now, they don't all have to be directly linked to each other, but they have to be part of the same network. And you can see we've got tons of possible connections, and each one has a different cost. Our job? To pick and choose the right connections to link everyone up, but for the absolute minimum total price. Okay, so how do we even begin to solve something like this? Well, first we need to learn the language of the puzzle. We need a framework. In the world of math and computer science, we call a map like this a graph. It's pretty simple, really. The dots, those are vertices, and the lines connecting them, we call those edges. And this simple idea, dots and lines, is the key to visualizing our whole problem. All right, so here it is. This is our starting point. This graph shows every single possible connection we could make. And honestly, it's a mess, right? It's just a web of options. Building all of them would be crazy expensive. We've got to find a smarter way to do this. And that smarter way? Well, it starts with a really cool concept called a spanning tree. A spanning tree is, well, it's actually a pretty brilliant idea. You take a selection of those lines, those edges, from our big messy graph, and you make sure it does two very important things. First, it has to connect every single dot. Nobody gets left out. And second, and this is key, it can't have any closed loops. You can't have a path that circles back on itself. We call those cycles, and they're a big no-no. And boom, here's a perfect example. See how those red lines touch every single dot? Everyone's connected. Now try this. Pick a dot and try to make a loop by only following the red lines. You can't do it, right? You can't end up back where you started without turning around and retracing your steps. That's what makes it a perfect spanning tree. No cycles. But here's where it gets really interesting. There isn't just one way to do this. Take a look at this. Here's a totally different spanning tree for the exact same set of dots. It still connects everyone, it still has no loops, but it uses different lines. And that brings up a really important question. If there are lots of possible ways to connect everything, which one is the best one? To answer that, we need to bring in one last piece of the puzzle: cost. Okay, let's zoom in on a smaller example to make this super clear. On the left, you've got our full graph. But now, see those numbers? Each connection has a cost, or what we call a weight. Then on the right, we've pulled out two different possible spanning trees from that same graph. Now we can actually add them up and see what they cost. So for this first tree, if you add up the numbers on all those blue lines, the total cost comes out to 20. Now, it works, right? It connects everything, but is that the best we can do? Is it the cheapest? Oh yeah, we can do way better. Check out this other option. By picking a different set of connections, this second spanning tree connects all the same points for a total cost of just 14. That's a huge difference, a massive saving. And that is our goal. That's the whole point. Out of all the hundreds or thousands of possible spanning trees, we need to find the one that has the absolute lowest total weight. And that special tree has a name. It's called the minimum spanning tree, or MST for short. So, the big question is, how do we find it? I mean, we could try to check every single possible combination, but for a big network, that would literally take forever. Luckily, there's a much, much smarter way. It's a wonderfully simple and powerful strategy called Kruskal's algorithm. And it's what's known as a greedy algorithm, and you're about to see exactly why. The logic is it's beautiful. It's so simple. Here's what you do. Step 1. You make a list of every single possible connection, and you sort that list from the cheapest one to the most expensive one. Then, you just go down the list one by one. You pick up the cheapest edge and ask one simple question. If I add this to what I've already got, does it make a loop? If the answer is no, you keep it. If the answer is yes, you throw it away and move to the next cheapest one on the list. And you just keep doing that over and over again until every single dot is connected. That's it. All right, talk is cheap. Let's actually put this algorithm to the test. Let's go back to our big puzzle and watch it work its magic, step by step. Okay, so we've got our sorted list. Right at the top,
The cheapest edge in the entire graph is the one between C and E. It only costs 1. Since we're just starting out, there's no way it can form a cycle, right? So we accept it. That's the first piece of our final network.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit. We've added a few more of the cheapest edges, and you can see what's happening. We're starting to form these little separate clusters, or islands. Now, the next cheapest edge on our list is the one between E and H, which costs 6. And look at what it does. It connects 2 of those separate islands together into one bigger piece. Does it make a loop? Nope. So we accept it. And now, here's our first big test. The next edge on the list is between B and C for a cost of 7. But wait a minute. Look closely. If we add that line, we can now go from B to E to C and right back to B again. Uh-oh, that's a cycle. So the algorithm's rule kicks in. The answer is no. We have to reject this edge, throw it out, and just move on.
So we just skip that BC connection and keep going down our list. We add the edge between H and K, then H and L, then D and E. Each time, it's the same simple process. Grab the next cheapest edge, check for loops, and if it's clear, we add it to our growing network.
Okay, jumping ahead again, we come to the edge between G and H. At first glance, it might look okay, but we have to check. And wait, G is already connected to I, and I is already connected to H. So if we added this new GH edge, we'd create that GIH loop. So again, nope, it gets rejected.
And so after we've gone through every single edge on our list, this is what we're left with, a network that connects every single dot. It has absolutely no cycles. And here's the most amazing part. Just by making that simple, greedy choice at every step, always picking the next cheapest option, we are mathematically guaranteed to have found the single best, lowest cost solution possible. It's kind of magical, isn't it?
This idea, this greedy logic is just so powerful. It shows that sometimes you don't need a grand, complicated plan. Sometimes a series of simple, smart, in-the-moment choices can lead you to the perfect overall solution. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other huge, complex problems out there could we solve not by trying to figure everything out at once, but just by focusing on making the next best choice?